On February 8th, 2012, a channel named Mr. 112 Dirtbag uploaded an odd video to YouTube. It was titled Happy Anniversary, and in it, an older man that probably smells like cigar smoke and horse balls winks and laughs maniacally looking into the camera. At first, people online that stumbled across the video thought it was some guy on drugs, or maybe just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, at least until the realization that the video might have ties to a missing persons case, more specifically the case of Maura Murray, a college student and athlete who seemingly vanished into thin air. On February 9th, 2004, Maura disappeared one night after crashing her car in a ditch in an area with relatively weak cell reception. The crash occurred around 7 p.m. on Route 112 in New Hampshire. One woman who drove past called the police to report the incident. Someone else offered to call 911 for Maura, though she pleaded with him not to, stating that she had already called AAA. The man left and called anyways when he reached his home. Roughly 20 minutes after the first phone call to police, first responders arrived to an empty vehicle and no woman in sight. Investigating the vehicle, they found red wine in the back seat and MapQuest directions to Burlington, Vermont. Her cell phone, credit, and debit cards were missing, meaning Maura most likely took them with her, though after that day, her phone, credit, and debit cards were never used again. And to this day, Maura Murray is still missing. Now, how does this tie into the video I showed you earlier? Well, the video was titled Happy Anniversary, uploaded on February 9th, 2012, on the exact date of the 8th anniversary of Maura Murray's disappearance. But that's not all. Maura disappeared on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire, and her father, believing she was taken or abducted, was quoted as calling whoever had done it a dirtbag. The channel's name that uploaded Happy Anniversary is Mr. 112 Dirtbag. The video was deleted relatively quickly after its initial upload, and soon the channel with it, though people saved and re-uploaded it over the years following. As people connected the video and channel to the case of Maura Murray, it was suspected that the man in it had something to do with her disappearance. The man in the video, who looks like the Riddler's inbred cousin, is Alden H. Olson. Now, Olson, as you can probably assume from that video, looks like a man who's lost his marbles. I mean, his marbles are so far gone they're at the bottom of the damn Mariana Trench. Investigations into Olson took place after the video was reported to authorities, though nothing would really come of it. He was cleared and Olson had no direct part in the disappearance of Maura Murray. I honestly have no idea why Olson would upload that video, essentially taunting the family. James Renner, a journalist and author who wrote a book on the case, also had a negative experience with the guy. According to Renner, Olson threatened and posted pictures online of his 3-year-old son. The guy clearly was and probably still is as unhinged as the screws in your mom's bed frame. Olson does have a blog page still up with a section about Maura Murray in it that he wrote in 2018 and 2019. It's probably easier to read hieroglyphics than it is to figure out what this guy's yapping about, though it is out there if you're interested. So Mr. 112 Dirtbag, or Alden Olson, is just some guy who wanted to make a video taunting the family of Maura Murray, and those surrounding the case for unknown reasons. Although he himself had nothing to do with her disappearance, I hope the truth of the case comes out eventually. In late 2015, a blog page named GadgetZZ posted an article titled "This Creepy Puzzle Arrived in Our Mail." In it, the owner of the blog, Johnny, states that he was sent an anonymous letter from Poland through the mail. Inside was a strange CD that included a video seemingly titled 11BX1371. At 2 minutes runtime, the video shows a mysterious individual dressed in a plague doctor mask and a hooded black robe, while distorted audio plays in the background. This gathered some attention and people began looking into this weird video. It was discovered that the video was also uploaded to YouTube several months prior by a channel named AETBX. The video was identical to the one that Gadget ZZ had received in the mail, except the title and description was entirely made of binary. When translated from Spanish to English, it reads "Death" and "You've got 1 year less." Online investigators also found more ominous messages and images within the audio spectrogram. There were also clear images of dead bodies, victims of serial killers, and other things. Through other secret ciphers within the video, coordinates to the White House, alongside threats to the president at the time, Obama, were discovered. People found out that the video was filmed in Poland, more specifically Zofiówka Sanatorium, a building once used throughout World War II and even up until the mid-1990s, before closing a few years later. Now scared and shaking like a shitting dog, people wanted to learn more about the truth behind this mystery, who posted it and why. Since the earliest known posting of it was from AETBX in May of 2015, people assumed they were the creator. When asked, they stated that a woman found the video on a tape within a park in her area and subsequently sent it to them. They then uploaded the video to YouTube soon after. So AETBX probably wasn't the creator. During the time that this video spread, many channels re-uploaded it. One of them was Parker Wright, who, once people speculated that the video was some Avengers-level threat, came out to state that he was the creator of it, and that 11B-X1371 was actually just some art project that he sent or placed around various areas near him in Poland. People, rightfully skeptical, wanted more proof, and he delivered. In December of 2015, Parker uploaded a sequel with the same plague doctor mask and robe seen in the previous video. Although it isn't 100% confirmed, chances of Parker having the exact same outfit and editing style but not being the creator are smaller than Kevin Hart. So, to this day, the creator of 11B-X1371 is widely believed to be Parker Wright, who just made this video as some wacky art project that ended up confusing and spooking people worldwide. The story of Barbie.avi begins on the wholesome, family-friendly website 4chan. In 2009, a thread was made on the X/paranormal board of 4chan that first mentions a video by the name of Barbie.avi. The user who made it goes on to tell a story of how they came across this mysterious video file. For simplicity's sake, I'll refer to this user as Dinkelberg. Dinkelberg states that it all started a few months earlier. His friend was hosting a party at some industrial loft that he rented out for a few days. Dinkelberg attended, and later that night, while he was passed out and asleep, he was awoken by a loud noise outside. Looking out the window next to a dumpster, he noticed a pile of trash bags, a computer, and a monitor. Later that day, as he was leaving, he remembered that a friend of his needed some computer parts for repairs. So Dinkelberg grabbed the computer, which seemed to be in good condition, and left. When he returned home, he scrubbed the computer for bobs and vagine, if you get what I mean. Dinkelberg didn't find anything like that saved, but he did find one video, titled Barbie.avi. He watched it and was disturbed by what he saw. The video was roughly an hour long, featuring a woman sitting in a chair talking to someone off screen, though the audio was straight poop-ass. As the video went on, Dinkelberg stated that the woman started to cry harder and harder. Near the end of the video, she was sobbing uncontrollably, until the footage cut to someone walking on train tracks before turning and moving into a forest. The video ends there. Dinkelberg recognized the train tracks from the video. It was near his house. So he fired up all 3 brain cells in his noggin and decided to venture out into the forest to investigate. Bringing a flashlight, camera, and knife, he soon left his home. Eventually, he discovered the exact area shown at the end of the Barbie.avi footage. Following the path, he found an old broken down home and a small tool shed. Dinkelberg, being the dumbass that he is, walked into the house. The basement door was locked, though the bathroom felt off to him. There was a newer, clean tarp placed over the bathtub, which didn't match the whole broken down and abandoned nature of the building. Dinkelberg then thought he heard someone moan in another room, causing him to run out. Later, thinking back, he realized it was probably a burst water pipe making noise, though he wondered why would there be running water in an abandoned house in the middle of bumballs nowhere. The saga of Dinkelberg sadly ends there. A month later, a channel named Xenopasta uploaded Barbie.avi parts 1, 2, and 4 to YouTube. Parts 1 and 2 seem to be taken from the same original source video, though part 4 is a little different. Halfway through the video, the girl shows that she's missing a right arm. She's an amputee. In the beginning of the video, the acronym BIID is shown. BIID stands for Body Integrity Identity Disorder, an extremely rare disorder in which someone with it feels like one of their limbs shouldn't be on their body. It feels like it doesn't belong to them, and they typically have a strong desire to amputate it. For the next few years, people who watched the Barbie.avi videos assumed the woman had BIID and, well, lost her right arm because of it. Nothing new would surface until 2016, where on the Russian site 2CHHK, a user claimed to have found a new video from the Barbie.avi source that hadn't been seen or known about online. The user found it on Youku, a Chinese video hosting website. The video was titled Tammy. The video was another interview with the same woman shown in Barbie.avi. People began to assume the woman's name was Tammy. Not much could be gathered from the video considering the audio was awful. Luckily, not long after this was discovered, pictures of the same woman were found in a magazine series called Ampics. Now, wanting to learn more information, investigators contacted someone once involved with Ampics named Mike Rounds. Mike gave information that allowed those looking into Barbie.avi to finally put some pieces together surrounding the true story of Tammy. He said that the woman's name is actually Sharon, but she often goes by Tammy or Becky. Born in either 1966 or 1969, she was raised in a perfectly normal family. At some point between 1979 and 1980, she was sent to do some laundry. While loading clothes into the washing machine, it started its spin cycle way too early, causing her right hand and part of her arm to get stuck in it. After a long surgery, her right arm had to be amputated. Now, most of this would turn out to be correct, except Sharon doesn't exist. The woman's name is, in fact, Tammy or Tamara, but we'll get more into that soon. There is a possibility Tammy went by the name Sharon at some point in time, though from evidence I'll mention later, everything seems to point to her name being Tammy or Tamara. Continuing on with Tammy's story, after the washing machine incident, she continued to live her life over the years, adjusting to the newness of it all. In 1988, Tammy became aware of the Ampix magazines, which feature models that are amputees. She became a model for Ampix and took some of these pictures you might have seen before if you've looked into Barbie.avi or happen to be an avid Ampix enjoyer. Hey, I don't judge. Her first and second interviews were recorded in 1989. Still having bad audio and visual quality, nothing else was really known about Tammy after these videos. In 2017, a YouTube account named Tamara Klein left a comment under a Barbie.avi video. "This is Barbie, I need help." To this day, nobody understands why this comment was left and what the purpose of it really was, though this particular comment wouldn't be noticed for 2 years. Soon after its discovery, online investigators found social media accounts of Tamara, and she seems to be doing well. Now, unfortunately, the exact dates of the events are still ambiguous. It's possible Tamara and the woman in the Barbie.avi videos are two different people, though most of the things and events told do match up. So it's assumed by most that Barbie and Tamara are the same person. Tamara herself hasn't responded to any messages sent by people who were looking into this mystery, and I honestly don't blame her at all. If it is her, she's probably tired of the constant messages and just wants to forget about everything involved in the Barbie.avi mystery. In the end, the initial story of the computer, forest, and broken down house, which became a creepypasta, is untrue. The body integrity identity disorder story or narrative is also completely untrue. Tammy or Tamara lost her arm in a freak accident involving a washing machine. The Barbie.avi photos were taken for Ampix, and the interviews were also filmed around that same time.